Some of the perk combinations on this list you don't use, and I can guarantee that once you use it, you'll realize how strong they are, especially the ones later on in this list. What is going on, guys? My name is Kyle, and welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the top 10 best Survivor perk combinations in the game. These are all combinations of 2 or 3 perks that synergize super well together and makes for a really strong build. If you guys enjoy this video and want to see more like this, feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We are on the grind to 100K. We're only 30,000 away, which is absolutely insane. Also, if you want to play Dead by Daylight with me, I do open lobbies every stream, so come drop a follow on my Twitch. And I think that's all the plugs I have for you today, so let's get right into the list. Coming into the 10th place spot is Head On Quick and Quiet. I personally don't think Head On is a very good perk. Head On basically requires you to have Quick and Quiet if you want to do anything with it. If you don't have Quick and Quiet, you have to slow vault into the locker, which not only takes a long time, but it also makes a little squeak. With Quick and Quiet, it's fast and makes literally 0 sound. The reason it's this low on the list, though, is because Head On isn't actually that good of a perk. However, in combination with Quick and Quiet, you could basically make killers scared of lockers if you're with a Swift. The 9th place spot is going to Flip Flop, Power Struggle, and Unbreakable. This perk combination allows you to escape the killer's grasp by yourself. Flip Flop converts your recovery progress into wiggle progress. Unbreakable speeds up the recovery progress, which makes it easier to get to the 50% threshold for Power Struggle to activate. So if you die on a pallet and the killer doesn't pick you up in like 4 seconds, you're getting off no matter what. Plus, if you add on Tenacity, you will be able to crawl and recover at the same time, which adds to your flip-flop, which will in turn help you with your Power Struggle. The reason this is so low on the list is because it can just absolutely do nothing. If the killer picks you up immediately, this perk combination will practically do nothing. However, the reason this is on the list is because if you have a single teammate that's near you when you die on a pallet, then the killer won't pick you up, because if they pick you up immediately, then the teammate can just pallet save you. And if they don't pick you up, then you have enough time to get your flip-flop Power Struggle up. I'm genuinely surprised that a lot of people don't use this perk combo because it actually has no counterplay. Like if you're using it with a teammate, it legitimately has no counterplay. So killers, you should be glad that people don't use this as much. Okay, the next spot on the list is going to Borrowed Time and We'll Make It. So at first glance, this sounds pretty redundant because Borrowed Time is basically the opposite of We'll Make It. People use these 2 perks together for different situations. If you unhook someone while the killer's nearby, then you have Borrowed Time for them. But then if you unhook someone while the killer is far away, then you're able to use your We'll Make It. Both of these perks activate when you're unhooking a survivor, so it just gives you 2 different options for whatever the situation is. Also, We'll Make It is extremely underrated, so please start using it more because it's really good. Okay, coming into the 7th spot, we have Overcome and Lucky Break. So Overcome is the new perk that actually hasn't been released yet, but basically what it does is it increases the speed boost you get after being hit by 2 seconds. And then what Lucky Break does is it hides all of your scratch marks and drops of blood while you're injured. So if you're connecting the dots here, if you get hit, it triggers your Overcome and it triggers your Lucky Break. So you're going to be sprinting for much longer while also not having any way to track you. This is just going to be the easiest way to lose a killer in Dead by Daylight once this perk is released. I'm a little concerned for the release of this perk because I feel like a lot of people are going to use Overcome Lucky Break and killers are going to have a bad time. All right, the 6th spot is going to Soul Guard and Unbreakable. This is a perk combination I talked about in this video. If you want to see that, feel free to click on the thing on the top right, but it essentially allows you to pick yourself up and take an extra hit. This perk combo is really good against killers who slug, but not a lot of killers actually slug, so sometimes you'll get no use out of it. However, both of these perks are extremely good, so if you are able to use it properly, you'll be able to take a ton of hits that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise. Plus, if they still have a hex up, you're going to be able to use that 35% extra speed boost from Unbreakable to pick yourself up and be able to take a hit with Soul Guard. And you can do this unlimited amount of times. All right, the 5th place spot is going to Spine Chill and Resilience, aka the Vault speed build. For those of you who don't know, Spine Chill activates when the killer is looking at you, and it gives you a 6% speed boost to all actions, including vaulting. And then Resilience activates when you're injured, and it gives you a 9% speed boost to all actions, including vaulting. So in combination, it gives you a 15% speed boost to vaulting, which is absolutely insane. 15% doesn't sound like much, but once you play with this perk combination on, you'll realize how good it actually is. It saves you in so many close situations where you're probably gonna die. It's actually crazy how much it helps. I would really recommend trying this perk build out. Plus, both of these perks are free and come with every single character, so you don't even need to buy a character to be able to use this combo. However, this perk combo is mostly for people who will take on the chase and who will be looping the killer, because if you're not good at looping, then you're not gonna be able to utilize this combo. So at that point, you're better off using more altruistic or objective-based perks. Next up on the list, we have Deliverance and DS. Deliverance in itself is a very underrated perk, But basically, once you get a single safe unhook, then you're able to unhook yourself the first time that you are hooked. So if you have Deliverance available, you can use it, and then the killer will likely come back to you because they think that there's another person there, and then they'll see you only, and then you can lead them on a little bit of a chase, and then you can get in a locker and force DS on them. It's a single-use way to just waste a bunch of the killer's time, and it also protects you if you're actually using Deliverance as a perk, because without DS, Deliverance is pretty bad. All right, the third spot on the list, which is my personal favorite perk combination, this is For the People Soul Guard. So unfortunately, the downside to this combination is that you do have to have at least one friend to be able to pull this off. But basically, Soul Guard lets you take a hit once you get picked up from the ground, and For the People lets you pick up somebody instantly off the ground. So if you have a friend, you can For the People them while the killer is wiping their weapon, and then your friend can take a hit with Soul Guard, and then you both get out of there. It is so strong, and people don't utilize it as much as they could, because usually they're going to be dying near a loop, so they'll be able to body block while they have Soul Guard available. I cannot stress how good this combination is. Next up on the list, we have Lithe, Quick and Quiet, and Dance With Me. This is probably the most underrated perk combo in the entire game. Everybody talks about it, but I don't see anyone running it. Quick and Quiet makes your vaulting silent, Lithe gives you a speed boost after vaulting, and Dance With Me removes your scratch marks after vaulting. So you can vault without the killer hearing you. You get a ton of distance from that vault while also not having any scratch marks. So the killer will have zero idea where you went. This perk combination is so good. If a killer loses you after being in a long chase with you, that is so bad for the killer. It wastes so much time. I don't know why people aren't using this combination. It is literally so strong. The only downside to this is if you're on an outdoor map that's pretty open, it will be fairly easy to track you if you leave the loop. But if you stay at the loop or go to like a nearby rock or something, it could really confuse the killer. But if you're on like Larry's or Hawkins, the killer will never find you after you take a vault. It's insane. I promise you, if you put on this perk combination and then you bring yourself to Larry's, the killer will have such a hard time that they'll probably DC. All right, before we get into the strongest perk combination on this list, I wanted to give an honorable mention to Ace in the Hole / Plunderers. This perk combination used to be good, but as of the last update, it's not as strong. However, it's still pretty good. Plunderers allows you to see auras of chests nearby, and it also increases the chance of getting a better item in that chest. And then Ace in the Hole gives you an add-on to the items that you search in chests. So together, you can sometimes get a very, very strong item that can completely change the tide of the match. However, the reason this is an honorable mention and not actually on the list is it can also do nothing. Like, there is a chance that you could get a green key with an add-on that doesn't even do anything. It is not as strong anymore because you have a really high chance of getting a key out of the chest with Plunderers on, but now that Hatch has been nerfed to the ground, keys are practically worthless. So this is kind of an RNG-based perk combo, which is why I wanted to put it in the honorable mention instead. And finally, what you've all been waiting for, the strongest perk combination in this game, which a lot of you already probably know, is DS Unbreakable. This perk combination was formerly known as the small PP build because it essentially has no counterplay for the killer. If you go down while you have DS active and the killer slugs you to wait out your DS, then you have Unbreakable to pick yourself up. But then if the killer picks you up because they think you have Unbreakable, then you'll just DS them. So it's essentially a lose-lose situation for the killer. However, as a killer main, I never had a problem with this perk combination, even when DS was really good, because if you get hit by DS or Unbreakable, 90% of the time it was your own fault. You either tunneled or you slugged improperly, 90% of the time. This perk combination is still strong. However, with DS being nerfed to the absolute ground, this perk combination isn't as strong as it used to be, but it's still the best perk combo to prevent tunneling. If you guys made it to the end of the video, go down in the comment section and put your favorite animal emoji. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want me to do more like these, feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We're almost 3/4 of the way to that silver play button, which is so cool, and I could not thank you guys enough for that, seriously. Again, if you want to play DBD with me, I do open lobbies on my Twitch, so come drop a follow there, and I think that's all I have for you today, so I will see you all in the next one. Peace!